Hit that subscribe button right now, or every time you microwave something, it'll explode. Creatures that shouldn't exist, yet somehow do. Beasts so massive they twist our sense of scale.
Не страшно к нему подплывать?
Brace yourself, because what you're about to see will leave you shocked.
He's a monster. Look at the size of the head on him too.
Back in 2017, a tourist in Australia got more than he bargained for during a quiet day of fishing. While casting his line, he noticed something strange rippling through the water nearby. At first, he thought it was just a log drifting by, but then it moved, and a massive crocodile emerged, gliding through the river like a silent tank. What made it truly terrifying was that crocodiles were never seen in that area before. Locals couldn't believe it either. The giant crocodile calmly went into the water, leaving the tourist shocked. Let's just say he probably thinks twice before fishing anywhere near that river again. Deep serpent. A team of explorers was diving off the coast when they noticed something huge moving beneath them. At first, they thought it was just a large eel, but as it got closer, they realized it was a massive snake. The creature stretched nearly 18 feet long and weighed over 300 pounds. Seeing it swim calmly through the water was both fascinating and terrifying. None of them expected to witness a snake of that size in the wild. It was a once-in-a-lifetime encounter that left everyone speechless. The ancient giant. When a group of fishermen in Florida pulled up a gigantic alligator from the water, they had no clue about the incredible creature they were dealing with. This beast was a whopping 4 meters long, making it the second heaviest alligator recorded in the state. Getting it onto their small boat was no easy task. It took 4 exhausting hours of tugging, balancing, and pure grit. What blew the minds of biologists even more was its age, estimated to be between 60 and 80 years old. This means the alligator had been around for decades, surviving storms, predators, and human encroachment. It's a real symbol of resilience, proving that nature's toughest fighters still roam the wild.
Watch out.
Big old dude. Ew.
Old King.
Incredibly huge. Look at this guy.
In the quiet town of Scottsburg, South Africa, lives a legend named Henry, the oldest known Nile crocodile on the planet. Born in 1900, Henry is over 120 years old, weighs more than 1,100 pounds, and stretches a staggering 5 meters long. He's been hanging out at Croc World Conservation Center since 1985, and people come from all over to catch a glimpse of this ancient reptile. Even though he's massive, Henry is pretty chill, alert, slow-moving, and has this almost royal vibe about him. But don't underestimate him. He's still a Nile crocodile and can unleash some serious power if he needs to. Village predator. In a small Indonesian village, people had been living in fear of a huge crocodile that kept attacking their cattle near the river. Eventually, the locals came together and built a trap to catch it. And surprisingly, it worked. And when they pulled the trap up, everyone froze. The crocodile was massive, way bigger than they'd imagined. It took a whole team and heavy equipment to secure it before authorities arrived. Thanks to the villagers' quick thinking, that river finally became safe again. 10-meter anaconda. Deep in the Brazilian rainforest, a team stumbled upon something that really shouldn't exist. A snake stretching almost 10 meters long. Its body was as thick as a truck tire, covered in mud, and its head was as big as a man's torso. Video later confirmed it was an anaconda, but way bigger than scientists ever thought was possible. Unfortunately, this massive creature didn't make it. It was found near a clearing where industry was on the rise, and the heat and loss of habitat really took a toll. Before it was buried, locals got one last look, standing beside a creature that reminded everyone just how little we really know about the wild. Giant salamander. While noodling, fishing with just his hands, Jeremy didn't expect to grab something that felt like a living rock. He pulled up a huge Japanese giant salamander, one of the biggest amphibians on the planet. With its thick, spotted skin and ancient-looking face, it was like something from another time. These creatures can live on land and in water, and they're super important for keeping ecosystems healthy. After a quick struggle, Jeremy let it go, just managing to avoid a strong snap before it slipped back into the murky water. River eel. A quiet afternoon by the river took a wild turn when locals noticed a long, slithering tail near the shore. They initially thought it was a giant snake and kept their distance, but as they got a closer look, it became clear this wasn't a snake at all. It was an eel, but nothing like anyone had ever seen before. This thing was nearly 6 meters long, way bigger than normal. People started comparing it to the legendary Abaya, the giant eel said to rule the waters. Whether it's a myth or just a weird mutation, this sighting definitely sparked some serious chatter. Monster catfish. Back in 2015, a fisherman in Italy's Po Delta had the adventure of a lifetime. He hooked something huge that almost yanked him right into the river. For about 40 minutes, he struggled with what turned out to be a massive Wells catfish. This beast was over 2.4 meters long and weighed about 280 pounds. Definitely a catch you don't get every day. After taking a moment to appreciate his incredible find, he decided to let it go, watching as the giant slowly swam back into the depths, like some kind of living legend heading home. The spiked giant.
Не страшно к нему подплывать?
A paddleboarder in Russia froze when he saw something crawling along the shoreline. It wasn't a washed-up log or debris. It was a crab the size of a small boat. Its shell was jagged with spikes, like armor, and every step it took left marks in the wet sand. The camera zoomed in, showing its sharp claws and thick legs moving in sync. Experts later confirmed it resembled a red king crab, but far larger than usual, easily 5 feet across. This one looked ancient, almost prehistoric, and it moved with a slow, deliberate pace, as if it had no reason to fear anything around it. Goliath crab encounter. While exploring near a riverside, a person noticed something massive moving in the shallow water. At first, it looked like a rock, until a pair of glowing red eyes locked onto the camera. The shape became clear. A crab, but unlike any seen before. Its claws were enormous, and its shell looked thick enough to crack metal. When the clip hit the internet, viewers couldn't believe it. Some said it was not real, others blamed radiation or deep-sea mutations. Marine experts later suggested it could be gigantism, a rare condition causing extreme growth. Whatever it was, that crab looked capable of dragging a man under. Forest spider. While on a train safari through a dense forest, a group of tourists spotted something straight out of a nightmare: a massive spider clinging to a tree trunk. It was huge, easily the size of a backpack, and didn't resemble any known species. Nobody dared to get closer. They just kept driving. The footage later went viral, and people started guessing, was it a mutation or something else entirely? Whatever it was, it vanished without a trace, and maybe that's for the best. What are your thoughts on this? Share them down below. Jungle giant. A traveler in Brazil was on a mission to find the country's legendary giant creatures. For most of his trip, the forest felt pretty chill, almost too normal. But on his way back, things took a wild turn. He came across a giant snake, its long neck reaching up like something from the age of dinosaurs. It wasn't being aggressive or anything, just watching over the area. The guy froze for a second, took a good look, and then quietly backed away. Smart move. Some things are just better left alone. The jungle predator. In the thick jungles of South America, there's a centipede like no other. It stretches almost a foot long, and it's not just your typical garden bug. This guy is a serious predator, with venom powerful enough to take down lizards, frogs, and even small mammals. After it sheds its exoskeleton, it doesn't waste any time getting its strength back by munching on the old shell, a clever way nature recycles for survival. And that's not all. Under its shiny exterior is some pretty potent venom that can take down prey much bigger than you might think. Definitely best to steer clear of this one. The venomous pet. If creepy crawlies aren't your thing, then this isn't for you. In Taiwan, a guy named Neil Cheng left everyone stunned when he showed off his bizarre pet, a giant Peruvian centipede. This isn't your everyday garden variety. This one is a whopping 42 centimeters long and slithers across his skin in a super unsettling way. Neil got it years back when it was tiny, not thinking it would grow into such a beast. Neil claims he knows how to handle it safely, but even the pros say that one wrong move could turn this pet into a real danger. Fireworm on the shore. On the beaches of Xiamen, China, a group of beachcombers came to a halt when they saw something crawling out of the waves. It wasn't a fish or a crab. This thing had a bunch of tiny legs like a caterpillar, wriggling as it moved across the sand. At first, it looked pretty harmless and soft, but as it got closer, you could see its bristles glinting in the sun, showing off some sharp, prickly spines. Marine experts later figured out it was a fireworm, a venomous creature known for its nasty sting. These worms can get pretty big, and touching one can seriously burn your skin. Definitely not something you'd want to pick up. You made it to the end. You're the real ones. Here's a special entry just for you guys. The giant gators. A subscriber sent in this photo and clip, and while the image itself may have been edited, the truth behind it isn't far off. These massive gators are absolutely real. Known for their sheer size and brutal power, they can cause serious harm if anyone gets too close. What's even more shocking is their lifespan. Some have been known to live for over 100 years, surviving through generations of change. These reptiles aren't just big. They're ancient, territorial, and unpredictable, so if you ever spot one of these giants in the wild, keep your distance, because once they lock eyes, there's no telling what might happen next.